You already know, you've known for weeks, maybe months, maybe years, and yet here you are, still waiting, still preparing, still convincing yourself that the timing isn't right. Stop lying to yourself. You know exactly what to do. The problem isn't clarity, the problem is fear. And fear has turned you into someone you don't recognize anymore. Someone who hides behind excuses, someone who calls hesitation wisdom, someone who mistakes comfort for peace. You tell yourself you're being careful, responsible, thoughtful. But deep down you know the truth. You're stalling. You keep researching when you should be moving. You keep planning when you should be acting. You keep asking for more signs when the first one was clear enough. And every night, when it's quiet and you're alone with your thoughts, you feel it. That weight in your chest, that tension in your body, that whisper in your spirit that won't leave you alone. Because you know what conversation you need to have. You know what relationship you need to end. You know what job you need to leave. You know what boundary you need to set. You know what apology you need to make. You know what risk you need to take. You've always known. But knowing doesn't feel like enough anymore, does it? Because knowing without doing is torture. It's a slow death. It's watching yourself become smaller every single day while pretending you're being wise. You're not being wise. You're being afraid. And fear has convinced you that waiting is safer than obeying. That delay is better than failure. That staying stuck is less painful than stepping out. But look at what fear has cost you. It's cost you time you'll never get back. Opportunities that won't come again. Relationships that have quietly died. Dreams that have faded into background noise. Peace that you can't seem to find no matter how much you pray. Because you can't have peace while you're living in disobedience. And yes, that's what this is. Disobedience, not the loud, rebellious kind, the quiet kind, the polite kind, the kind that looks responsible on the outside but feels like betrayal on the inside. You've been betraying yourself, betraying what you know to be true, betraying the voice that's been guiding you all along. And you've gotten so good at it. You've perfected the art of looking busy while going nowhere. You've mastered the language of intention without action. You've learned how to sound spiritual while staying stuck. But God sees through it. He sees the fear you're calling discernment. He sees the pride you're calling patience. He sees the control you're calling faith. And He's not impressed. He's not angry. He's not disappointed. He's not punishing you. But He is done watching you waste your life on things that were never meant to hold you. You were not created to live small. You were not designed to play it safe. You were not built to spend your days managing fear and calling it a strategy. You were made for more than this. And you feel it, don't you? That ache inside you that won't go away. That restlessness that keeps you up at night. That quiet voice that keeps reminding you of what you're avoiding. That's not anxiety. That's not doubt. That's not confusion. That's conviction. And conviction doesn't go away just because you ignore it. It gets louder. It gets heavier. It presses harder until you either obey or collapse under the weight of refusing to. You've been carrying that weight for too long. And the truth is, you're exhausted. Not from working too hard, from resisting too long. Every day you spend avoiding what you know is another day spent fighting yourself. And you can't win that fight. You'll only lose time, energy, peace, joy, clarity. You'll lose yourself. And for what? So you can stay comfortable a little longer? So you can avoid a difficult conversation? So you can keep pretending everything is fine when you know it's not? That's not worth it. It was never worth it. But you've convinced yourself that it is. You've built an entire belief system around why staying is smarter than leaving, why waiting is wiser than acting, why silence is safer than speaking. And maybe you're right. Maybe it is safer. But safe doesn't mean good. And safe doesn't mean right. Safe just means you won't get hurt. But you're already hurting. You're just hurting in private. You're just hurting slowly. You're just hurting in ways that don't leave visible scars. But God sees those scars. He sees the parts of you that are dying from inaction. He sees the dreams you've buried. He sees the person you were supposed to become and the one you've settled for being. And He's giving you a choice. Not a suggestion, not advice. A choice. You can keep pretending you don't know. You can keep waiting for perfect conditions that will never come. You can keep building cases for why now isn't the time. Or you can do what you already know you need to do. No more research, no more planning, no more waiting for feelings to catch up with truth. Just obedience. Simple, immediate, uncomfortable. Obedience. Because the life you want is on the other side of the thing you're avoiding. The peace you're praying for is on the other side of the conversation you're delaying. The clarity you're seeking is on the other side of the decision you're postponing. The freedom you're craving is on the other side of the boundary you're afraid to set. You can't access any of it from where you are. You have to move. And yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, people might not understand. Yes, you might fail. Yes, it might hurt. But staying will hurt more. Staying will cost you more than moving ever could. Because staying costs you yourself, your integrity, your peace, your alignment with what you know to be true. And you can't put a price on that. You can't afford to lose yourself just to keep everyone else comfortable. You can't afford to betray your own knowing just to avoid conflict. You can't afford to spend another year living like someone who doesn't know what they know. So stop. Stop pretending this is complex when it's actually simple. Stop treating clarity like it's optional. Stop acting like obedience is something you can negotiate. You can't negotiate with truth. You can only accept it or reject it. And rejection doesn't make it go away. It just makes you miserable while it waits. So do it. Do the thing you've been avoiding. Have the conversation you've been delaying. Make the decision you've been postponing. Take the step you've been dreading. Not because you feel ready. You'll never feel ready. Not because you have all the answers. You'll never have all the answers. Not because it's easy. It won't be easy. Do it because it's true. Do it because you know. And knowing is enough. It's always been enough. You don't need more confirmation. You don't need more time. You don't need more courage. You just need to stop lying to yourself about what you already know. Because the moment you stop lying is the moment everything changes. Not externally, not immediately, but internally, instantly. The weight lifts, the clarity comes, the peace returns, not because your circumstances changed, but because you finally aligned with truth. And alignment is where freedom lives. Alignment is where you stop fighting yourself and start moving forward. Alignment is where fear loses its power and obedience becomes simple. You've been out of alignment for too long, and your body knows it. Your spirit knows it. Your life knows it. That's why nothing feels right anymore. That's why you can't find peace no matter how much you pray. That's why clarity feels so far away, because you're not lost, you're just disobedient. And disobedience creates distance, not from God, from yourself. You've been distancing yourself from your own truth, your own knowing, your own voice, and the way back is simple. Do what you know, that's it. That's the entire message. Do what you know. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for confidence. Stop waiting for perfect timing. Just do it. And watch how fast everything shifts. Watch how clarity returns the moment you stop resisting it. Watch how peace floods in the moment you stop fighting it. Watch how fear loses its grip the moment you stop feeding it. You've been feeding your fear by delaying your obedience, and every day you delay is another day fear gets stronger. But obedience starves fear. Obedience removes its power. Obedience proves it was lying all along. And you need to prove that to yourself. Not by thinking about it, not by talking about it, not by planning for it, by doing it. Action is the only language fear understands, and it's the only language that creates change. So move. Move today. Move now. Move before fear convinces you to wait one more day. Because one more day turns into one more week. One more week turns into one more month. One more month turns into one more year. And you don't have years to waste on fear. You have a life to live, a purpose to fulfill, a person to become. And that person is waiting for you on the other side of obedience. They're waiting for you to stop lying to yourself. They're waiting for you to stop playing small. They're waiting for you to do what you already know you need to do. So do it. And if this message made your chest tighten, if it made your eyes water, if it made something in you shift, that's confirmation. That's God saying, this is for you, not someday, today. You know what to do. Stop lying to yourself.